The storm hadn't yet reached the valley, but the air already carried the scent of it, like wet iron and broken memory. Beneath the collapsing roof of a forgotten farmhouse, the German shepherd huddled, his ribs rising like fractured bones under damp fur. His eyes, amber and rimmed with fatigue, stayed fixed on the horizon, even as his body trembled with every distant boom. The sky cracked open, white lightning tearing across it like a wound. He didn't move. Couldn't. The fear had fused into his muscles long ago. His name was Bruno, though no one had spoken it in a very long time. His world had once been commands, car rides, Kevlar vests, and a partner whose voice meant safety. Officer James Rennick had raised him from a pup, trained him with care, praised him in ways Bruno didn't need words to understand. But memory was a cruel god. That day in the alley, 2 suspects, cornered, desperate. One had a gun, one pulled the trigger. James went down, Bruno lunged, and the next thing he knew, sirens screamed and blood soaked the pavement beneath them both. James never got up. Bruno did. Barely. The department pinned a medal to his collar, called him a hero. But then came the words Bruno couldn't understand, but somehow felt retired, unfit, traumatized. He waited for James to come back. James never did. Part 2. Discarded, the shelter was loud, confusing. Hands touched him, but none were familiar. He stopped eating for a while, stopped hoping. Until he came, the man with cigarette breath and hands like wire. "Big dog like this'll keep 'em away," he muttered. Bruno was taken, chained, ignored. Thunderstorms came, and Bruno would claw at the door, cry. The man yelled, threw a boot once. After that, Bruno learned to be silent in his panic, learned that no one was coming for him. Then, one summer afternoon, the man left in a rusted pickup truck and never returned. Bruno stayed. The chain rusted. The food ran out. Rain came, snow, and still he waited, until the chain broke and Bruno ran. Part 3. Claire's tires skidded on the wet gravel as she pulled up to the old lot. She wasn't sure what she expected. Probably nothing. But something in that post online. German shepherd seen near the Westfield ruins. Looks injured. Thunderstorm rolling in. Had struck a nerve she didn't know still throbbed. She found him after nearly 2 hours of calling, flashlight beams slicing through rain like a lifeline. There he was, hollow, mud-caked, not barking, not moving. She knelt slowly, her nurse instincts kicking in. "Hey," she breathed. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you." He didn't growl, didn't bolt. When she reached forward, he winced, but didn't pull away. Her hand touched his head. Warmth. "I've got you now," she whispered. Part 4. Recovery. Claire lived in a small house just outside town. She converted her laundry room into a makeshift recovery space. Laid towels on the floor, boiled chicken and rice, cleaned the gash on his leg as gently as she would a wounded soldier. She named him Bruno after checking the microchip the vet scanned. He didn't respond at first. But on the 3rd night, when she whispered it during a storm, his ears twitched. She cried. Bruno began following her around the house, not close, but always near enough to see her. The television frightened him, so did plastic bags, but he never barked, never demanded. One night Claire fell asleep on the couch after a long shift. Lightning lit the sky in jagged pulses. She woke to find Bruno lying beside her, his chest rising and falling in rhythm with hers. Part 5. 2 wounded souls. Claire understood trauma. As a trauma nurse who'd seen combat zones and domestic violence and everything in between, she knew the signs, the stare, the silence, the invisible scars that turned every safe room into a minefield. She'd lost her brother, Tom, in Afghanistan. He'd never come home, not really, and then one day he didn't at all. Bruno was the first living soul who didn't ask her to move on. He just stayed. And she stayed for him. When he woke from nightmares, twitching, whimpering, she laid her hand on his side and whispered the same thing every time. "I'm here. You're not alone." Part 6. The Boy and the Storm. Months passed. Bruno grew stronger. His fur returned to its thick, majestic state. But the storms still rattled him. He no longer ran, but he paced, tail low, eyes wide. Claire brought him to the Veterans Support Center on a quiet Tuesday. She wasn't sure what would happen. That's where he met Eli. The boy hadn't spoken in 3 months. His father had been deployed and never came back. Eli wouldn't talk to his mother, barely ate. Sat in a corner, rocking, arms crossed like armor. Bruno walked to him, slowly, deliberately, and lay down beside him. Eli stared. Then, tentatively, he reached out, touched the thick fur, and for the first time in months, he spoke. "He's not scared." Claire felt her chest crack open. Bruno tilted his head, then gently placed a paw across Eli's foot. The boy didn't move away. Part 7. The New Chapter. After that, Bruno visited weekly. Kids waited by the door. He learned to sit quietly as little hands stroked his fur, as tear-streaked cheeks pressed into his chest. He didn't need to do tricks. He just was, and that was enough. The staff ordered him a vest. Therapy dog embroidered in blue. Claire smiled when she saw it. "Guess you found your second calling, huh?" Bruno wagged his tail. Epilogue. When the storm comes again. It was a year to the day when another summer storm rolled across the valley. Claire stood by the window, watching the sky flicker with lightning. She turned. Bruno was there, not trembling, not pacing. He walked calmly to her side. Saturday pressed his body against her leg. She looked down at him, tears threatening. "Remember when you were scared of this?" she whispered. Thunder cracked. He didn't even flinch. She knelt, pulled his massive head into her arms, and held him close. "You're safe now, Bruno. You always will be." And in the warmth of that moment, in the hush that follows even the loudest thunder, he believed her. If this tale moved you, if you felt the tension, the heartbreak, and the triumph, please support our channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring more thrilling, emotional, and inspiring stories your way. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Do you believe dogs have an extraordinary sixth sense? Share your thoughts and personal stories with us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.